So this comes with Windows 10 Home. What the? Come on, let's get rid of that Windows Home. Let's get some Windows Pro. Copy and paste my code from the description. You can also get Office 2019. Just paste my code. Woof, it's Windows Pro time. Righto, Toyota champs. Now let's talk about this AERO 15 beast. Absolute beast this thing is, and you will not believe it. Now, we'll be covering this AERO mostly from a content creation perspective. I think this has claims to be the best content creation laptop going around because, yeah, it has that awesome 4K OLED display. They do have a 17-inch with a HDR. I will test that one out too. These OLED panels are going on every Windows laptop now. These like premium thing, gaming laptops, etc. Even the XPS 15, it's all the same panel, but it all comes down to the calibration. No one calibrates their displays better than Gigabyte. I mean, thing is bang on calibration. When I calibrated the monitor, there was absolutely no difference in the color. The only difference was in the contrast. It was a bit more contrasty out of the box. And in actual fact, I think their calibration out of the factory is better than the one I can do because they'll be using much better equipment than what I'm using to factory calibrate these out of the factory. And you can tell, right? When you look at this Morocco video, this is HDR video, and usually what happens with OLED, when you get reds and browns, they can look a bit warm. Even in the XPS 15, they look a bit warm. They look a bit oversaturated, a bit ghastly, or more accurate, garish. But this is calibrated so good that even those brown red tones, they don't look warm, they don't look oversaturated or ghastly. Now this comes with what you would expect from a 15-inch premium laptop, up to RTX 2080, Max-Q, i9. You can have the 6-core i7, 8-core i9. I have the i7 here, 16 gigs RAM, and an RTX 2070 Max-Q. And yes, they promise better thermals on this model here. It is slightly thicker, like 1mm thicker than the old version, but you wouldn't know. It's more compact. It looks better, much better design. I really want to see that grey one. I really do want to see that grey one because I'm not into that black, but have a look at that finish. Wow, it does look awesome, doesn't it? But getting back to what I was talking about, yes, they promise up to 30% better cooling. And yeah, I'll give them that. I reckon it is better cooling for sure because I can tell you now, running Cinebench, have a look at this. Stock with the 62 watt limit, that's with the CPU pushed up to its max in the control center. And yeah, you can see, that performs like an i7 should. 9750, 9th generation i7. It gets the score you'd expect. We're maintaining, over 3 gigahertz, 3.1, even a little bit more maybe, but nothing special. But have a look at the temperature. It's got a lot more in it, right? So woof, let's undervolt that thing and have a look on the right. I see it, but I don't believe it. Yes, this is maintaining nearly 90 watts. It's definitely in the 80s with a minus 150 millivolt with the limiter taken off. Yes, that CPU is hitting 4 gigahertz, all 6 cores. I'd love to see this with an i9 because I reckon it'll be hitting near 4 gigahertz with all 8 cores. Look at that wattage. It's like 80 something watts, nearly up to 90 watts sustained. The temperature 80s. Okay, in the 80s. Maybe every now and then touches the low 90s, but that is 90 watts. I have not seen a thin and light laptop maintain that sort of wattage. And to put this into perspective, MacBook Pro, 87 watts full package, GPU and CPU. This is given that amount of wattage just for the CPU. That is amazing. Now, of course, once you light up the GPU, it's not going to sustain that sort of thing. And stock gaming, the clock would reduce from, say, that 4 or 3.9. Now, it would go down to the mid 3.5s every now and then. Only with high CPU usage games. Most of the games, it was maintaining that 4 gigahertz. But you undervolt it, it's going to maintain that 4 gigahertz all the time, like indefinitely, no problems. Yeah, the CPU will go up into the 90s, it'll hit that in the high CPU usage games, but thin and light package, awesome gaming performance. Check out the benchmarks up here. So at the end of the day, great performance, great thermals for a thin and light package, great display, awesome for gaming. Can't wait to get into the content creation with this thing. OLED looks so good on these games. If you don't game competitively, think about the OLED because the games look superb with the OLED display. This has got everything a gamer wants, all the Thunderbolt 3, the USBs, the HDMIs, the Ethernet, everything you want for a gamer, even SD card slot. You have all Intel inside, Wi-Fi 6, all the good stuff. This is really got me torn here. Will I buy one of these? Will I get one? I think it just might be the absolute perfect balance between content creation and gaming. I think this is the one in terms of that. So stay tuned for my content creation review. Very interesting to see what happens. Catch you in the next one, guys. Tally ho.